Yo, fine scouts and intrepid internet travelers. Welcome to my channel. I'm Josh, your Binge Buffoon, if you will have me. Today, I'm going to be watching the series finale. I think it's a series finale of Dragon Ball Daima. That's right, Tucker. The reason I mentioned the name of the main ageless love interest from Tuck Everlasting is because my friend Tucker refuses to watch Dragon Ball Daima. To be honest with you, I didn't want to watch Dragon Ball Daima at first for the same reason that many people I think were frustrated with this series. And I don't mean to say any of this to take anything away from Akira Toriyama. May he rest in peace. Absolute legend. But I hated Dragon Ball GT. I hated that they made Goku a kid. However, what I think Dragon Ball GT set out to do, which was to revitalize the franchise by tapping into that sense of wonderment and adventure that the original Dragon Ball had, that aspect of it that we fell in love with, that RPG hero's journey aspect. I think actually Dragon Ball Daima nails. I've really enjoyed this show, as it clearly has redeemed GT in a way. Now we got Super Saiyan 4 again, and it looks really cool. It's very red. I really only started watching this show to troll my friend every Friday. I would send him a Snapchat of me talking about Dragon Ball Daima. And now, even though it's not Friday, because I had to put off watching this a few days, I'm going to troll him by making an entire fucking video. Because Dragon Ball Daima, it's not just a show. It's not just a celebration of however many years of Dragon Ball. It is an exploration of nostalgia. It is fan service in the best way. Yes, would we have preferred Dragon Ball Super return? Yes, we would have. Yes, does this not present a bunch of issues and plot holes because it takes place between Z and Super, and a lot of things have happened that don't really add up. Why was Super Saiyan 4 never used in Super? Specifically, when Goku fought Beerus, he proclaimed that Super Saiyan 3 was his final form. Supreme Kai isn't fused anymore. Look, I love Dragon Ball. I always cite Goku as the one who taught me how to be a man. Not Goku as we really know him. Funimation's Goku, the one that is essentially just a ripoff of Superman, the one who fights for the innocent, not the one who just fights because he's addicted to getting stronger. That's always been an aspect of his character, but I know that Funimation changed a lot of the dialogue in the original Dragon Ball Z dub. I actually watched Kai for the first time a couple months ago, Dragon Ball Z Kai. I know that's more faithful to the manga, and I did really enjoy it. As a millennial, I missed Bruce Falconer's score, and there are some moments I think were done a lot better in Z, but it is refreshing to watch Dragon Ball Z again without all of the filler. Well, I guess that's really all I have to say. I'm excited to watch the finale of this series. And rest in peace, Akira Toriyama. Reaction channel. Let's ride the coattails of other people's art. It's actually the next day. I couldn't get logged into my Hulu last night, and I gave up, and I just watched a bunch of Severance episodes instead. I'm just wearing the same clothes for the sake of continuity. But yeah, fuck you, Tuck. I'm abandoning the whole trolling my friend thing. I don't care. I just want to watch the final episode of this show. Oh, side note, my blood got tested for reasons I don't have to divulge to you. And I have extremely high levels of RSV antibodies. And I don't remember having any respiratory disease. So it finally happened. I'm superhuman. They want to make medicine from my blood. And the truth is, I just waited to watch this show on the channel until they became adults again. That being said, this is probably the most beautifully animated Dragon Ball series I've ever seen. Everyone else has said that, but episode 20, Maximum, having been restored, Goku finally surpasses his limits! Exclamation mark. To defeat the mighty Goma. He looks like Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. Because Gogeta had red hair, right? Woo! Vegeta just unbothered. Oh, Piccolo as well. The aura. Oh, dude, this looks so good. If Super ever does come back and it's not animated this well, I actually, when we started this show, well, we didn't start it together. When the show started, I didn't think we'd get fights this well choreographed and animated. I thought it would just stick to the nostalgia of him and his pole, you know? And stuff like that. This is awesome. This is amazing. And this is the kind of Super Saiyan 4 battle we all wanted to see forever because he did nothing, especially compared to Z. He ate a Dragon Ball. I don't know what the goal is here other than to just... Oh, wait, he's got to distract him long enough for them to hit him from behind. Them. Or they have to get the eye off of him. Knock him on the back of the head. Boom. I think that's what we were told. This is a really well thought out and creative fight. Wow. I'm gonna pause real quick. He's standing there like this in his classic Goku stance. I just want to say, in case I was coming off as like too humorous early on, Akira Toriyama and Dragon Ball did change my life. Dragon Ball, how do I put this? When I was a kid, like all children, I was very concerned with fitting in, being cool. I'm talking elementary school, you know? And I sort of hid my interests at first. I didn't let people know I loved Star Wars or Dragon Ball Z. Anime and a lot of nerd culture wasn't cool when I was growing up. It wasn't cool like it is now. Now it's widely accepted as something that's not only entertaining, but artful and awesome. And Dragon Ball Z was probably the first thing I was just like, I openly decided to say, fuck it. I love this shit. Because Dragon Ball Z, you can make fun of it as an outsider, but you watch that shit, you start going to the gym. You start screaming when no one else is around, hoping that one day you build up a fuck ton of RSV antibodies and can call yourself superhuman. I guess that's my equivalent of Super Saiyan. I even to this day still have a tank top training to go Super Saiyan that I don't wear to the gym because that would be obnoxious, but I wear it. The one thing that I did like about Kai, I will say, is the intros, songs, and stuff, dude. You say with Super, I mean, when I grew up, it was Dragon, what's Dragon Ball. You know what I mean? And Bruce Falconer, it was badass. It was just badass. These kids, they don't know. They just don't know. I can appreciate Kai, I really can, and it does have its moments. I like the score. I do. But come on, as a 90s kid, the OG Dragon Ball Z, filler aside, is something special. Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to go on a tangent like that. Thank you, Akira Toriyama. That's all I said. You did change my life, and you changed the life of so many. He's smiling at him. You know, Goma could have realistically used the Dragon Balls to wish for the eye, or to find the eye, or wish for immortality, or wish to be more powerful, as opposed to just wishing the people that he was worried about, that really didn't even know about the realm at all, were gonna come and overthrow him. Very nonsensical, but whatever. He's an idiot. He's not Zumasu or anything. This is fucking awesome. My favorite Kamehameha, and let's not get into a discussion about Super, but my favorite Kamehameha, what's about, oh, look at this. My favorite Kamehameha is the one against Khalifa in the Tournament of Power, but they had that upside down one a couple episodes ago. That was pretty dope. I think we're getting one right now. Not to keep talking, but I showed my buddy once that Khalifa Kamehameha when he was stoned, and he was like, in the face? Kamehameha in the face? It's like, yeah. Wow. Wow. This is beautiful, man. Really, the only thing you can say about this episode so far is that the animation is stunning. This is better than the Broly movie. Maybe. Here we go. That could be a painting, man. And this music is great. This music is awesome. I love moments like this where everyone's cheering and he's about to do it. Whatever he's about to do. Oh, wow. He didn't even need anyone's help with the eye. Unless the eye heals him. This show really is a love letter to the entire franchise. Well, not really. Let's not go that far. Gohan's not in it at all. I sort of just stared at the screen slack-jawed for the Super Saiyan 4 Kamehameha and its impact, but after watching this in the edit and thinking about it, I definitely want to mention how not only is this moment reminiscent of when Goku punched through King Piccolo as a child, but the blast connects the isolated worlds. It's this beautifully symbolic and full circle moment that not only represents Goku's role in the franchise as it continues to unite characters, but I also think it represents how this franchise, Toriyama's franchise, has brought so many of us together. I don't know if a Kamehameha can be more iconic or impactful than that. Oh, they are doing it. Perfect. Having to knock him on the back of the head is like a Legend of Zelda boss battle thing. What we watched just before was one of the most exhilaratingly animated things I've seen in Dragon Ball. The boos were hilarious in this. And I like how they weren't actually the villain, because then you... Dragon Ball has been doing that, bringing back old, like Cell Max and bringing back old villains too much or remixing them. Oh, that's it. Is it Ku? Majin Ku saves the day. I love that, actually. I really do. Stepping on the eye. Oh, that sound effect was hilarious. That's it. Oh, there he is. Underwhelming. Little thing. Why can't I finish things? Yeah, let's give Majin... This is his home. He should be the one defending it. You know, it's all silly, but I don't care. I love it when in Dragon Ball the bad guys become good guys. I mean, that's the greatest arcs, Vegeta. Why don't Piccolo and Vegeta hang out more? They're so alike. Oh yeah. He's like Trickster Kami, this guy. Oh yeah. It's evil containment wave sort of thing. Well, she's gonna rule, isn't she? She just gets it without having, like, just by helping. Oh, that's true. It's like being a Sith. Oh, so Majin Ku? Yeah, do it. You'll be good at this, dude. You're kind-hearted, sorta. Just gives himself a cape. That's a good choice. I believe him. He's right. His heart and her brains know. Dude, I love it. Goku comes here and it becomes a better place. They even established a new government with balanced leaders. This is like an RPG. The show. It's a full journey. These people from the outside world. No, we're going home. Oh yeah, I forgot about this guy. He provided some seriously, like, I had some serious chuckles watching this show with that guy, I forget his name now, and Ku and Do. And of course, the last episode we got a classic, timeless moment between Vegeta and Bulma, and a look into their love life. They're very fond of bath time. Huh. I love it. I think they finally found the perfect balance between, like, the 3D animation and traditional. Classic Vegeta Goku conversation. Wait, so he always knew how to do this? I thought, what's his face helped him.
Yes, naturally, it's a Super Saiyan bargain sale.
Ultra Vegeta 1. Maybe Vegeta just doesn't use 3 again, because it is, I don't know. Nice.
いやしかし外の世界のみんなには本当に世話になった。心から礼を言わせてもらうぜ。
This series did add to the lore in really interesting ways in the world building. That's over. You know the theme song for Dragon Ball Daima? I heard it at the gym the other day and was like, yeah, all right, it's over. I will say this about the series. When I first started watching it, I was weeks behind, so I was able to binge a lot of what would be considered the slower episodes. And it almost felt like that was the best way to take in this series. I do think it's a little slower at first, and if you're waiting week to week, that might be a little off-putting. Now that it's done, and you can just sit down and watch it, I think this is a beautiful binge for fans of the franchise. Perfect as a miniseries. I don't want them to continue this in any way. I want them to ignore, more or less ignore. We're getting Trunks and Goten shots. They weren't even in this. I don't want them to continue this. I want this to be its own little thing. Plot holes be damned, and I want them to adapt the arcs of Super that are out there. I know that the show doesn't necessarily follow the manga, but it can, moving forward. Because I think Akira came up with ideas for the arcs, and then he gave those ideas to the people working on the manga and the people at Toei. They did their own thing. They have newspapers. we were kids before.
この前薬虫を買った子供じゃないかい？うん。あれや
They really helped us out.
それともまさか薬虫の副作用ででかくなっちまったんじゃ。
Honestly, the animation here looks like something Studio Ghibli.
やけどに効くアチチムシ、お肌がツヤツヤになる美容
Supple
虫。
skin, Boma, there you go.
肌が10歳は若返るね。
This is gonna be a good gag. Or maybe not, maybe she just actually gets what she wants.
おばさんこれって。ああ、魔のサードアイっていう第三
Oh,
の
there's a
目だよ。
bunch of them!
おでこにつけるととんでもない力。
They're selling them at shops.
密入化して
Well, that's a plot hole right there. They could take the eyes and beat everyone forever.
安くしとくよ。
Fun. That was fun, man. It was very fun. Everyone who's like, fuck GT, I don't want to watch Daima. Super fun. Shout out Akira Toriyama once again. I think it makes some people mad because they look at this series as a way of legitimizing GT. I think it's just making up for the sins of GT, as well as paying homage to and maybe cashing in on our nostalgia a little bit. It was most certainly like a fan service series, but it was also really, really fun, and I think the arc itself was very well rounded. And I enjoyed the pacing, even though it was a little slow at the beginning, if you had to wait week by week for episodes. Alright, I have to go. Maybe I'll attach something to the end of this, talk more about Dragon Ball for hours upon hours for 15 minutes. I'm not going to go on talking for 15 minutes or something, reviewing this series. I'm just going to add some final thoughts. Dragon Ball Daima definitely exceeded my expectations. You could almost look at this series as a Dragon Ball Z speedrun in terms of tone and pacing. From comedy adventure to action heavy blazing battles, it's sort of this summary of how the franchise feels. I know I talked about pacing a little bit before, but this is paced perfectly, especially if you're thinking back to the original Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. We waited years for things to happen on a week-to-week basis. And I think this series is brilliant in that way because it does have everything we love about Dragon Ball, even if there were never really any stakes to be felt. I do want to take a moment to say that Goku and Supreme Kai are an underrated duo. I loved them as a pairing on this adventure, with Supreme Kai playing the straight man or boy to Goku's Goku. I think the new characters and the side characters are okay. I think they've fulfilled their purpose. They didn't need to be anything other than what they were. I know I talked a lot about Super and what I'd like to see in the future, which is perhaps misguided. Although the great thing about Dragon Ball is that it continues to leave us wanting more. Even if the power scaling is impossible to make sense of at this point, the reality is that this might be the last Dragon Ball anime we get for a very long time. And that's arguably a good thing, considering this was the last project that Toriyama had his hand in. Truth be told, even if Super continues and they stop making Goku so dumb all the time, dumber than I remember him being in Z, eventually this has to end anyway, once it catches up with the end of Z. Although I suppose it never really has to. You could just say that Dragon Ball Daima takes place on a different timeline, and Dragon Ball Super takes place on a different timeline. And it could go on forever. I mean, One Piece is still going. But without Toriyama, maybe that's not the right thing to do. Maybe like all good athletes who hang it up before they can't do it anymore, or bands that break up in their prime, maybe Dragon Ball should just keep us wanting more. I think that's all I have for this one. Big love to everyone who was bored enough to join me. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Drive me off this platform if you must. Otherwise, like, subscribe, dislike for cathartic reasons. Drink water, stay young, and remember, don't be an idiot. Be a buffoon. Peace.